Good morning. Welcome back to the farm. Today we're going to talk about lettuce. Lettuce is one of those crops that everybody likes to grow, and a lot of people have problems with it. Lettuce is not the easiest vegetable to grow, basically because it's a very cool weather crop. To germinate lettuce, you have to be much cooler than many of the other early season vegetables. Lettuce. Some people tell me stratification is necessary. If you don't know what stratification is where you have a vegetable in this case, and the vegetable will require a certain number of days of cold weather, cold as in right around freezing. And so I know some people that do this with lettuce. We don't do it here. With the germination chamber settings that we have no problems with germination. But if you don't have a germination chamber, I also know people that will plant their lettuce in a flat and then put it in a refrigerator for a couple days. Take it out, it gets the cold that it needs, and they get good germination. So, I mean, what's ever best for you? So today, we're going to plant two varieties. One, our old standby. This is Cherokee. It is a red lettuce, and we plant this almost year round. So really good stuff. We're also going to plant Butter Crunch. Butter Crunch is a little different looking vegetable, but it's a green vegetable, and this lettuce is extremely tasty. Both these types you'll have problems with in the heat of the summer. So right now it is the early part of February when we plant our first set of lettuce seeds. But if you were doing this in July, probably irregardless of where you were, there would have to be some special considerations after things are put out in the garden. Right now though, let's plant these seeds and get them up. As with all seed starting, your equipment is a priority. So I've stressed this before, but your flats need to be of high quality. If you're using one that you bought, you got flowers from a retailer a number of years ago, odds are you're going to have problems with it somewhere during the process. So anyway, buy the good stuff. This is not a time to skimp. So let's get our dirt. Got some Pennington dirt here, and we're going to put it in our flat. I don't know if you can hear the chickens or not, but they're vocal this morning. I know a lot of you may or may not know this, but the roosters, they crow. They don't just crow in the morning. That's a TV thing. They crow day, night, whenever. So don't kid yourself. If your neighbor's got a rooster, you're going to hear him all the time. Not really a problem here because I don't have any neighbors, but if I did, be hearing the roosters. And they're loud too. You can hear them for a quarter of a mile off. Guess that's what they do. Now you notice we're getting the seed in all the cells. I'm going to get it out. Now, normally, getting it all over me too, I dampen the soil down. This soil is about right, so I'm not going to do that. But if you open this thing up and your soil is kind of sandish, is that a word? Anyway, you'll know. Then you're going to want to add a little water, either before, during, or after you do this process. So, now that I got it all over me, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to wax on, wax off. We're going to go ahead and compress the soil. So we try to take all the air pockets out, which will not help us in our germination process. Okay, now we're going to pick it up and drop it a half dozen times. It's up to you, depends on your mood. If you notice, here along the front edge, most of that soil compressed some more. So we're going to have to do some more work over there. Interesting that one edge didn't take as well. But we'll fix it. The idea is to have soil almost to the top ridge, maybe a little less. There we are. Our soil is in our flat. We're going to use our imp seeder to ensure we get the seeds where they need to go. Now, we're going to do something we normally don't do with this Cherokee. If you listen, this is pelletized seed. Let me show you what I mean. You'll see they look like little white or brown little balls. Well, what they do is they put a compound around it, mostly clay, I understand, and it makes it so you can put your seed in a seeder. So you don't have to go through the inside germination process. We never, ever direct seed lettuce. Why? Our weather conditions are so extreme, whether it be summer, winter, I say fall. We don't really have a fall and a spring. But nonetheless, if you direct seed lettuce in the type of climate we have, you're going to have some entertaining times and probably less than stellar germination. So let's pour our seed, our pelletized seed, into our imp seeder. And it will make this whole process go much easier because you can get your hands on it. And we're going to go through and put our seed in our holes. You know, I don't see a lot of people using an imp seeder when I watch videos online. I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't. It saves you a lot of time, a lot of money. Oop, got one too many in that one. Yeah, we'll clean it up after the fact. And so what we're going to do is we're going to move our seeder and go through. Because it's pelletized seed, it's easy to see where we got one too many or none, which does happen either way. So let's go ahead and continue this flat, and we will get our Cherokee lettuce straightened around, get it planted. Now, Haas, in some of their seed packets, give you these things. This is a row marker. We'll have 6 rows of butter crunch here, 3 on this side, 3 on this side. This will identify what's where to what. Now, I will tell you that with the Cherokee and the butter crunch, you would know anyway. The lettuce looks different. So let's plant some of this. Now, this is non-pelletized seed. And as you can tell, there's a big difference in how they look. It's hard to get a single seed, but you can do it. And frankly, with 1,000 seeds in one of those little packages, if I get more than one, I can live with that. Now, we will plant lettuce after the season starts. We'll plant lettuce about every 2 weeks and rotate lettuce in and out. All the animals like lettuce just like we do. And we give a lot of it away. But this is good stuff. Now, by planting the Cherokee, we also plant another variety later in the season called Muir. Those are very, very heat tolerant varieties. Now, Cherokee, will tolerate about anything. Matter of fact, we just had 5 below zero weather 2 weeks ago, and that's what finally took out our Cherokee lettuce. Up until that point, we were still growing lettuce in late January. So we're good to go. Now, let's put our vermiculite in. I love this stuff. This stuff was such a game changer when we found it. Talking to some of the, let's just say, more senior people around, they kind of turned us on to it a number of years ago. Wow. Our germination rates in conjunction with the germination chamber have been absolutely amazing. A lot of people will grow and put seeds down and their germination is just terrible year after year after year, and they don't know why that is. Proper temperature, proper humidity, and vermiculite. Kind of a big deal. Now, if you notice, I didn't cover the seeds up with soil. I covered it up with vermiculite. The vermiculite will hold the moisture from the soil because we're going to bottom water, and it will keep that seed exactly the way it needs to be. So, let's straighten up our vermiculite just a tad. Now let's water our stuff. Now, bottom watering. It will stimulate the root growth down to where it needs to be, and it's the only way to do it. If you sprinkle on the top, your roots will be shallow, and when you go to transplant them out in your garden or your field or wherever you're doing, there's the potential that those roots will not be adequate, and you're going to put them out, put all this labor in, and stuff dies on you. So let's be real. Bottom watering is important. So let's do that. Oop. I'm going to fill this flat up. Now, except for the spot that I spilled on the top, putting the watering can in, this will seep from the bottom, and even that'll seep from the bottom. Once this is done, we'll put it in the germination chamber and we'll be good to go. As you can see, the vermiculite is starting to pick up the moisture from the bottom of the tray. You can see how it's all being absorbed. Now, the amount of vermiculite you lay on the top will determine how long this takes. I got it a little thick in some places, so it's taking a little longer. We're going to take this flat and put it in the germination chamber, and I'll show you the settings when we get over there. Okay guys, we have preheated our germination chamber, 71.8 degrees, and it's only at 62% humidity, but that is climbing. I fired the chamber up about an hour ago to get ready. Lettuce is germinated by itself here at Possum Ridge Farms because the other early season vegetables, the optimal germination temperatures are different. So remember, your lettuce 72 degrees at 80% humidity. Let's put our seeds in. And there's our flat in the germination chamber. We will take our probe and we'll stick it right here in the corner. Push that down a little bit. And we will close this up, and in 2 days we will have germination of about, I'm guessing 95 to 100% of every one of those seeds we put in. Growing lettuce can be challenging. The germination process is sometimes problematic. If you follow the steps that we did in this video, you'll get some serious germination. I realize most of you don't have germination chambers. Okay, use a mat. Make sure things are kept damp and keep them as cool as you can. 72 is the optimal germination temperature, but they'll germinate at anything much less than that. Until next time, I'll see you down at the barn.